Share with me at least one way that you have improved with age. I'm Bradley J, and this is the Bradley J Show. I was thinking about that today, and I have actually improved a lot. I had a conversation with somebody I knew way back in the day, and back when I knew that person, I was a lot more of a jerk, and I was more of an idiot, more of a jerk, hollow, shallower. I mean, I was still pretty cool compared to a lot of people, but I had my faults. And only over time do you kind of realize them. So I want to share with you mine, and maybe you can think of some ways that you have improved with age. As far as aging goes, it's weird. I mean, there's a plus and a minus. Being young is a bitch because of this old saying, you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't make a mistake. You have your whole life ahead of you. And now it's a little more relaxing because if you make a mistake, well, the stakes are lower. You don't have your whole life ahead of you. Maybe you screw up a fraction of your life rather than the whole thing. So there's less stress that way. But, like all of you, I guess, we all try to improve. And after texting with this person, I have a new rule about texting, I think. Anybody who's a friend, I'm not going to do texts. Call me, leave a message. But that's another whole thing. I'll get into that later. Talk to me, share with me how you may have improved. As I speak, think about it. I made a small list of my improvements. And as a result, getting old is, there are some upsides. There really are. I made the list here. Yes, there it is. I have terrible penmanship. You can't see that because of the light. All right, number one, as I mentioned, I worry less. I don't know why that is exactly. Maybe it's chemical. Maybe there's less to lose, but I do worry less. I remember 17 and 18 worrying a lot about stuff, mistakes possibly made. And maybe that was because I was under stress a lot because I was an operating room technician. I was a surgical tech at 17. I started the training at 17. I graduated at 18. By, my very early 18s, I was elbow deep in people. I had my hands inside of people. Gloved hands holding, like for example, holding small intestine out of the way, or all intestines out of the way, while a doctor was trying to stop a bleeding aortic aneurysm. So maybe there was stress related to, maybe I had kind of PTSD. I don't know. Boston Bob says, looking forward to Bradley J Saturday. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's right. For 2 hours. And Morgan called me up and he said, Bradley J, I hear you have an album. So I get to talk about the album and the music process. There is an album. It's on Spotify and a bunch of other things. The band is Bridgebender. If you listen to it before the show, that'll help you comment on it intelligently. Boston Bob, you can definitely check it out. It's Bridgebender. The album is Hotel Bar, now available to listen to for free. I don't care. I'm not selling a thing. I mean, I'm not selling it to make any money. Well, if there's any money, I'll take it. But it's just a few bucks is such a pain. It's about the art. It's about the music. I made the art, the music to share. Spotify, Bridgebender. So yeah, we'll be on the Morgan program. We'll bring it, man. We won't leave anything on the field. It's funny. I was a pretty good talk show host when I was on the radio. But I've actually probably gotten a little better, once again, because you care a little less. And with any sort of performance, be it baseball, acting, when you're relaxed, you do a better job. Comedians, you just do a better job. And I'm more relaxed now. So how have you improved with age, Bob? Boston Bob and anyone else. Think about it. I worry less. Thing number two, I've come to understand that getting angry is always a losing proposition. Never let anyone see you be angry. You can have a flash of anger, suck it up and keep it to yourself. You will never come out ahead acting in anger. Aristotle thought that there was a place for anger properly used. But never let people see you be angry. You know what temper is? Like tempered steel? Tempered steel means it's strong. It's been tempered. It's extra strong. Tempered steel. And when you lose your temper, or when steel loses its temper, it gets weak. Temper is strength. And there's a reason there's a phrase, lose your temper. It means lose your strength. That's why I love word meanings. I bet you didn't know that. Bob says, I've learned to love what I do, so I don't have to work a day in my life. Well, I learned that. Good for you, Bob. I did learn that pretty early on because I saw my father hate what he did, and it killed him. It actually did kill him. Caused him so much stress that was a major contributor to his heart attack. And he was unhappy. And I think subconsciously, semi-consciously, I resolved I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that, no matter what it takes. So I guess I owe my father that lesson. It's too bad because he wanted to be a photographer. He was a photographer. He wanted to be a professional photographer. He would have loved to do that for a living. He did it as a hobby. He got paid for doing weddings and things. But he was super responsible, and he had a family, which was me, my two brothers, and my mom, and he needed to take care of us. He needed to have insurance and an income. So he kept working at the job he hated. It was like gasoline in his veins. So Bob has learned to love what he does so he doesn't have to work a day in his life. And look at his picture. You can see he's all happy, Bob. He's like, yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Right, Bobby? All right. So back to anger. You always lose. And there's this flash of time, and you all know this, when you think, my anger's justified. I need to show my anger. I need to show strength. I need to be angry. It's good this time. Nope, it is never good. You lose every time. So when you feel that flash of anger, if you can, zip it, walk away, don't say anything. Be always vigilant for that flash of anger and just stop. And you probably will have to walk away. And if you can walk away, like with people like saying something lighthearted, like ha 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 ha, even though you're super angry, you'll be, if you can walk away without them knowing you're angry, that's good, but walk away. Deal with another time. Maybe you address the situation in a calm way later. Maybe you get revenge. So, okay, here we go with this. Is some smart ass named Phil. So what do you do with the emotion that anger represents? What do you do with it? All right. So that question, I have to try to interpret it. It's, it seems to be a little bit like energy is neither created nor destroyed, or nothing's ever created. Matter is never created or destroyed. Okay. So Phil seems to be saying, you have this entity, this flame, this energy, which is anger. What do you do with it? Well, and this is tough. I think you probably realize that you're better off if you can cap it off temporarily, go away, get out of there, scream, run, punch a bag, do something physical to get rid of it. Like Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Turn it into something else. Turn it into steam that blows off. You might say it's easier said than done. Yeah, but it's doable. You get out of the situation, do whatever it takes to let it dissipate. Just like, say, steam in a pressure cooker. Let it come out gradually over time. Either go back and address the situation, and then go back and address the situation. After you've had time to strategize so that it works out best for your interests. And sometimes you're just wrong and you realize you're wrong. If you get angry, then you got to go and apologize. And sometimes revenge is in order because sometimes you have been wronged. Now, the Stoics will tell you, let it go. How have you been really hurt? But that ignores justice. And I feel like justice is a thing. So sometimes revenge is in order. So there's the anger factor. I'm really pretty good at keeping a lid on that. But please don't test me. I'm more positive, I think. Oh, no, I'm not more positive. Not at all. Why did I even write that? Oh, introspective. I have bad penmanship. I'm not positive at all. For me, optimism is a prison. And optimism is really stressful. I think I'm a little kinder. I think I don't procrastinate. And I've always been pretty good at not procrastinating, but now I procrastinate less. Because time is the most valuable thing, as you realize. Your whole life, you can get more of pretty much everything except time. And I guess another important thing is to just shut up about politics. I certainly learned that. Certainly, especially online. If you want to maintain a relationship with anybody, don't talk about politics. And don't even allow yourself or them to make little comments that give away their politics. People, sometimes you'll say to somebody, let's not talk about politics. But they'll make little comments so that you know where they stand. You're way better off if people do not know your politics. So you've improved. So Ian Campbell, better guitar player and singer. I went to average from almost good. So how'd you do it? Let me guess. Practice? So how did you, what made you all of a sudden decide to practice? Where did you get the discipline? Oh, speaking of discipline, I don't have any discipline. But I have managed to change habits so that my habits are more often healthy things than not healthy things. Like my new habit is walking up and down, and today I did it 7 times. 2, 4, 6, 7 times. I walked up and down Mission Hill 7 times. It took about an hour and 15 minutes. And it's hard. And the first few times I actually ran partway up. So I'm getting in better shape, which is weird for an old person. It's something you work at. You, and I'm sure Phil and Bob understand this. You got to tweak it. You change your habits slightly, get a little better here, a little better there, and drop other habits out. So Ian, how did you get to be a good guitar player and singer? How'd you get to be a better singer? Good question. So I'm gonna sign off now live. But if you're watching this after the fact, please do still comment. I will look at the comments and I will respond to them. Next up, the next broadcast is going to be about the J calendar. What's our current calendar? Anyone? Is it the Julian calendar? It's not the Gregorian calendar. It's Julian, right? If not, I'm not embarrassed. But that is obsolete now that there's climate change. And yes, I know what I'm saying is wrong. It's easy but just play along with me. We need a new calendar, and I've set the dates for the new calendar And I think you'll be pleased that spring is going to start earlier from now on. It's one of the upsides of climate change. Donna Lear has more empathy now. Wonder how you got that. I'm curious. Ian, can you put down how you managed to become, what gave you the discipline to become better a guitar player and singer? And Donna, how'd you get some empathy? That's it. Oh, yes. So the new calendars, the J calendar, the Bradley calendar. The Julian calendar is going to be the Bradley calendar. I think you'll like it. Well, it's more based on reality. And, oh, yeah, that's right. Next week at 10 o'clock, I think, I'm on WBZ with Morgan White Jr. There is the new album by Bridgebender, my band, Bridgebender. Just look for it on Spotify or whatever. You can just Google it. Or you can go to bridgebender.live, and it's got all the information, even the lyrics and the meaning behind the songs. And then there's the Bradley J Travel channel on YouTube. Subscribe to that. It's no big deal to subscribe. Just do it. Even if you don't like the channel, just subscribe. It's free. Nothing will happen bad. Just click subscribe. There are over 100 travel videos. Oh, by the way, new travel video coming. Shannon and I are going to Spain and Morocco. Right now, the itinerary goes from Malaga to Tangier, which I know has its issues, to Cadiz, and then back to Madrid. That's it. Shorter, sweeter, better, more.